YouTube, let's jump right into it today. Let's talk about Refinable and the disaster that was their launch. As always, if you all would please drop a like, drop a comment, share this video with somebody, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the algorithm out, it helps my channel out, so I would greatly appreciate that. But with that being said, let's talk about Refinable. As you can see on the screen, over here on the right side, you can see that the price currently is at 192 when I'm making this video. If we just look at I click 7 day, it's really the 2-day chart on CoinGecko, which CoinGecko doesn't even actually show the initial jump up to like $9, but you can see pretty much since the launch, the coin has been trending down, especially because everyone was expecting to buy this coin at around 3 cents. A lot of people are calling it a scam, rightfully so. Really, I know for myself, disappointed with how this launched. Really had high hopes to get into this for under $1, and then see where the project goes. Obviously, having names like Mr. Beast and Binance associated with it, and allegedly having them as investors, had a lot of people really excited about this token. So kind of disappointing to, I guess, kind of is an understatement. Very disappointing to see how everything looks on the graph and kind of where it's all going. But I did want to address some things, want to talk about the news, because I do still think this project has a lot of potential. And from what I can tell, I personally, I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own research. Don't just listen to what I'm saying. I personally do believe that Mr. Beast and Binance are investors in this, and here's why. On Refinable's Twitter, you can see they are followed by Mr. Beast, right? You can see he is followed by Mr. Beast. Now, chances are that if Mr. Beast wasn't an investor in this, he would have heard about this by now, because this did not go well. And he probably would have seen it, if he follows them on Twitter, he would have seen everything that's happening, and chances are he probably wouldn't still be following them, and he probably would have put something out saying, hey, I'm not associated with this, they're using my likeness. Especially a guy like Mr. Beast that most people think is a pretty stand-up guy. So that's one thing. Again, this isn't cold hard proof. This is my own personal opinion. I just think that some of these call them coincidences. I don't know. I think he's most likely actually invested in this. And yeah, following him on Twitter doesn't necessarily mean that he is. But again, it's one more indication that, it points in the right direction. The other point about Refinable is about Binance being invested in Refinable is yesterday they had this tweet where they were talking about NFTs with, look at that, Refinable. Doesn't mean that they are invested in it. It's not written in stone or anything like that, but Binance is obviously aware of Refinable. So if they are aware of Refinable, chances are they know what's happened and how the price shot up and has come way down. And if they weren't actually invested in this and Refinable was using their name incorrectly, then chances are Binance probably would have put something out. Now, if we scroll up, they even mentioned, I think, Refinable one other time in one of their tweets. I thought I saw it. Oh, here it is. So here's another tweet with Refinable. Again, I do think they're fully aware of who Refinable is. Now, again, that doesn't mean that they're invested, but I do think that it shows, they at least acknowledge each other, and chances are they are invested. That's my personal opinion. I think I've said that about 4 times. But again, something to think about regarding Refinable. Now, one thing I did want to talk about, Refinable's co-founder did put out a series of tweets kind of addressing what happened. I did read this earlier. It doesn't necessarily give me the warm and fuzzies, but it seems like they're trying to be as transparent as they can. But we'll go ahead and take a look at it. So first thing he said, there are reported token contract leaks a few hours before the launch, so the team reminted our entire token supply to mitigate bot setups. Sounds like they tried to do something to help. There was a Refinable launched at the initial price of 3 cents, like we thought. If we click this link, obviously with the the whole blockchain, it keeps it anonymous. That's kind of the point. You can see the transaction fee here. I mean, it doesn't really show. Let's see if we can click anything here. The gas. I mean, I'm sure if you're really into this, you you would know exactly what this is showing. I mean, it does show, okay, they bought 270 BNB worth, but it doesn't tell me what the price of, other than it was $8 million. But I guess this is trying his way of helping. Let me see if this, no, nothing that just like screams it off the top of my head, you know, that I can very easily deduce that the price was that. But again, he is trying to show some evidence there. Anyways, next thing he tweets out is CoinGecko and CMC price charts do not reflect the true price because they have delayed reporting. That actually, like, just knowing how stock charts work and stuff, that doesn't surprise me that there's some delayed reporting. But I do think it's odd that it doesn't show the graph starting there, initially shooting up. Like, there should be like one big green bar, right? Or green bars if you're thinking of like stock charts. So I'm not really too concerned that the CoinGecko and the CMC charts don't show that, just because it's just a charting tool. So I'm not really too concerned there. So, you know, is what it is. It says there was some severe congestion on the Binance Smart Chain, starting with our PokeStarter IDO, causing all TX to be extremely delayed. I'm assuming TX is transactions, causing all the transactions to be delayed. So, took a little while for them to confirm things. Okay, so fine. Things, you know, to be expected, I guess, with hype. Doesn't mean it's not disappointing, though. But next up, he says public sale distributions were executed automatically, but private sale partnership distributions were issued manually and experienced massive delays. Well, yeah, if you do anything manual, of course, it's going to be slower than automatic. He said they staggered initial liquidity supply about 10 minutes to minimize the effect of predatory bots front-running the community. That sounds like that's like good intent. I mean, I have no idea if they actually did it. Could have also led to some of the, I know when I was trying to buy initially, nothing would go through, so that could be what that's from. Private sale transactions were issued in a one dispersed transaction and saw massive delays, 30 plus minutes, because of large contract size. Okay. Some smaller multi-sig transactions executed earlier because of smaller transaction size outside of the dispersed transaction, leading to staggering distribution of tokens. All right, I mean, if I'm not really worried about the private sale, I'm really more concerned about the public one, just because that's, it seems like, where most people got hosed on pricing. He goes on to say, my team and I are continuing the investigation into other launch issues. I'd like to personally thank all the supporters. This is the launch of a very special product for myself and the team. We've been working hard to deliver a great platform the community can be proud of. Okay, fantastic. He said he's proud of his product. I would expect him to say nothing other than that. If he didn't say something like that, I'd be even more concerned about the project. It says they have the largest NFT community in the space with 79,000 addresses holding fine, and they have 100,000 Twitter followers, #1 on CoinGecko. With all due respect, Mr. Chan, you're probably #1 on CoinGecko because everyone's pissed. 100,000 Twitter followers, this had a lot of hype. So I appreciate that you're trying to say, hey, look, we're doing good things, but I don't know if I'd be flaunting that right now with as upset as everybody is with the launch. So he says, what this means is I and the team will try even harder to deliver a stellar product for the community. Kind of wish, like, because of these things, you didn't have to try harder. I figure you should probably just be trying to do your best from the start. But, I mean, at the same time, I don't want to, like, sound too negative. I do appreciate that, you know, they're trying to acknowledge the fact that things didn't go well. So I don't want to sound like I'm beating them up too much. It says, final note, for over 1 hour after initial liquidity, no private sale tokens were distributed. And despite our best efforts, bots were still able to front-run the LP pools, thus creating massive price movements within the first 30 minutes of the pool. You know, I guess you just got to take him at his word for that. If no private sale tokens really were, you know, sold off and then that's cool. You know, we'll have to, I guess, wait and see. There's no way to really validate if they were or weren't. So he also said there had been multiple bots spotted sniping the contract despite our best efforts to obfuscate, I don't know if I said that correctly, the listing time. So if we click into this,
so this guy here, this guy.
There we go. I want that in a new tab. So we'll watch this. I mean, it looks
within
like
the first second.
You know, some of the, I'm assuming this is where some of the initial pricing was. If you can, yeah, so he's got this as the price paid. You can see it very quickly jumped up. I mean, this is all at the same time, right? It doesn't have like the seconds, but you can see as soon as it went live, the price went through the roof. And it looks like they bought a lot. So does it mean that it went live at 3 cents? I mean, based on this, it looks like the bots pretty much bought most of it up. But, you know, that doesn't make the community feel any better. I mean, one thing I will say is this does give us a little bit more proof. You know, nothing is going to be cold hard proof unless you actually go. Now, this could be from all the different blockchain addresses, and that could be what this is. I'm not going to sit here and watch this whole thing. It's 5 minutes long. So this to me gives you the most proof that we've seen yet that this wasn't like some big scam. Just shows that there was a lot of hype and the bots beat people out, which they're going to do every single time. I would say for the community and crypto investors as a whole, I think people should use this as the opportunity to understand risk management and understanding that with all of these coins, you know, they can go down. It may not be exactly, you know, what you thought it was. There could be scams. And I think this could be a valuable lesson for people that, you know, maybe invested too much and invested at $8, $9 and then saw their value plummet down to $2 and, you know, they lost their bag, as you would say. So I do think that there is something to be learned here. As frustrating, as pissed off as everybody is, I know I'm very disappointed at where I got in on it. You know, just kind of seeing how quickly it tanked. But with that being said, you know, for me personally, the amount I invested was an amount that I know that if I lost it, it would be okay. It would not impact me and in my life really in any sort of major way. So, you know, that's how I approach investing. But some other people may have put more in. I'm not going to sit here and read all these comments, but, you know, some people are wanting compensation. I mean, look, unfortunately, there is no regulations around this. There isn't a lot of rules, you know, in the crypto space, which is kind of the good and the bad of the space, is that things can go very quickly and you can make a lot of money very quickly. But on the flip side, as we saw with Refinable, you can lose a lot of money quickly. So I really hope some people take, you know, 2 minutes and say, hey, maybe I need to be a little bit more conservative with my investment, you know, instead of trying to put all of my money and all of my eggs in one basket. You know, pay a little bit more attention into that risk management side and really try to make sure that whatever you're investing, you can afford to lose if things don't go your way. So just wanted to touch base on Refinable. Personally, I still think the project long-term has some good potential, again, with names like Binance and MrBeast associated with it. And it's my personal belief that they are invested in it. You know, I do think that this project still has some good potential. And if we just check the price again since this video, it's actually dropped another 10 cents. You know, if this keeps sliding and it gets cheap, you know, you might be able to get in on this for some pretty cheap prices. If people kind of, you know, don't want to talk about it because they're bitter about it, you know, people who pay attention may be able to scoop it up. And then as this kind of turns around, you know, there could be some potential here. So that's my personal opinion. I still like the project. I'm not happy with how it all started. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to change consumer perspective about it. But again, NFTs I think are just getting started, so I think there's still potential here. But with that, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you found this video helpful, you liked listening to it, anything, please drop a like, drop a comment, and let me know what your thoughts on Fine are. I would love to know. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.